Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of Cooking and Tailgating with Joe Boo. All right, so tonight we are going to do, it's actually been a busy day because I've been doing a couple of different things. I actually baked some cod. I'm not a fish eater. I don't like fish a lot. And so you very rarely will ever see me eat fish. And I tried a new recipe on that. Which case I bought a case of cod. So we'll try that out and see how it works for everybody. So what I'm actually doing here, and this is going to be for me and Mike tonight, and we're going to end up basically serving this like I told you guys. We're cooking for my in-laws and things. We're all trying to eat better. We're trying to get away from any fast foods for at least a month, and we're trying to get away from processed foods, as many carbs as possible, and eliminate as much sugar as possible. And we're trying to eat just healthy food. So here's what I'm doing. There's a couple things. I actually have another pot right here. This is beets, and I bought a bag of beets when I was at Restaurant Depot, 20-pound bag. A lot of beets. I'm actually going to put some of those storm down in the cellar because it's cool down there, and they'll be fine there for a while. But I'm going to pickle these like I did the other ones because I love pickled beets. Just don't tell my mom. Right now, I'm going to do like a beef stroganoff, and we're going to just do this one. I'm not going to edit this. I may zoom it up and all that, but this is just going to be just a straight run through to see how much time it takes to actually cook this. We're going to do like a cauliflower rice that's going to be kind of like a hibachi rice because we're going to put some onions in it. We're going to go ahead and have it in some butter, and it'll be flavorful and stuff like that. And what we're going to do with our stroganoff is we're going to end up using these are like miracle noodles. They're gluten-free noodles and things like that. So we'll use some of those in there, but we're going to use lots of mushrooms and onions. So the only thing I will say is I did prep some stuff earlier while I was doing some other cooking. So I basically took a head and a half of cauliflower and I put it in the food processor. And so you can see it's just kind of like, it's almost like rice cut in half. So I did prep that. I did slice the onions and wash the mushrooms. And I did peel that. So here's what we have as far as ingredients that are going to go in this. I have about 2 pounds of hamburger, and I had a little bit of that steak that was left over. I've got the straw. A little bit of that steak that was left over from when I ended up doing the pho. And that video will be coming up soon too. I'm going to actually put all that together. We're going to take that, the beef right there. We're going to put mushrooms. We're going to put onions. We're going to use the fettuccine noodles. We're going to use, this is a beef broth paste. We're going to use some rosemary, some thyme, and we're going to use garlic in here, salt and pepper. And we're going to use, don't tell me, we're just going to use a little bit of flour to thicken it up. I'm not crazy about the xanthan gum. I know that that's actually keto, but if you don't tell, I won't. And we're going to use some sour cream. I have the wok over here with some butter in it that we're going to saute some onions in there. So to maximize our time, I'm going to be able to cut up the onions and get those in place for both of these dishes, as well as the mushrooms in here for the stroganoff. Now this is going to be, the weather is getting crazy. We haven't had weather like this in a long time, since I've consistently cold for this long. Today and yesterday were the first days that it actually got over freezing. It got to 42 today, and it's going to be in the 40s this weekend, but come Monday, the high temperature is going to be 20. With lows around 2 and 3 degrees, and that's not normal for this area. I can tell you that right now. So we haven't started with the rice yet. That takes a lot less time, but we're going to get started with the beef stroganoff. Now I like these portobello mushrooms. Portobello mushrooms are almost like meat themselves, and I've done some great recipes with just portobello mushrooms instead of putting in meat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get this started sauteing And then we're going to add the meat in here. I want this stuff to get caramelized before we put the meat in it, and then we'll drain the fat off of it. Now I keep forgetting, not in love anymore. I keep forgetting, things will never be the same again. What? That song?
No, I said the guy who made the song passed
Oh,
recently.
okay. So we're gonna we're getting that sauteed right there. Yeah, that's a classic song. Putting it in this, and I'm not crazy about the non-stick pans, but I don't have a cast iron, or well, actually I can't use cast iron on here. My wife will kill me because I'll scratch the glass. But I don't have a stainless steel one that's big enough for this. I need to go ahead and get me just the regular Dutch ovens to be able to do this. And I have like a 15-inch cast iron skillet. And I tell you, this springtime, I'm going to build an outdoor kitchen. And what I'm going to do is, we found an old Loaf Liberty wood stove, which was made here in Waynesboro about 150 years ago. And with that wood stove, that's going to be my smoke source for our brick chimney. So I'm going to tie that in there together. So when we're smoking meats, we'll actually have that stove. That stove will actually be able to be used out there. So it has like 5 burners that are on it, and it has an oven in it. So we'll actually be able to cook outside, and that will make my wife happy because I won't be messing up the kitchen so much. So we're going to get this started being softened. You can see we got the mushrooms and the onions. Now I'm going to get this started over here, the wok, melting my butter, and I'll cut the other onion up to go in there for the rice. Now, if you're enjoying what we do here, by all means, please hit the like button, share, and check out some more of our recipes, so that way we can continue to grow, so the YouTube algorithm will smile upon us. So good. I love the smell of garlic cooking. So you see how the mushrooms have already gotten a little bit of cooking into them. That's what you want with the onions, because that'll separate it from just the taste of the hamburger. Okay, we got that going. We're going to need some more garlic to go with that as well. If there's one thing I can impress upon you in cooking, is trying to use fresh garlic and fresh spices if you can. And this springtime I'll be showing you how I get a lot of my fresh ones that actually grow. They can grow in a window, and you can be just pulling some great spices and herbs right off your deck or your kitchen window. Okay, got our butter that's beginning to melt in here. Let that start to cut. And now we're going to take our ground beef. Hi there. Alright, so far, we started this video almost 10 minutes ago. just done this live. Why did I just do this live? Do it live. Do it live.
Not too late.
Yeah. In the future, I'll do some live.
But you have the other camera. You can do it live with the other camera.
I sure can.
You do a jump. You do a jump.
Okay, we've got that. The butter's melted, so we'll add that into our wok. And we'll start chopping up our garlic. We'll let that cook a little bit before we add it to it. Now we added butter, of course, in here to start the process. We're going to add a little more butter when we end up getting the cauliflower in here. Now, while this is cooking, I'm going to get a measuring cup. I'm going to put the miracle noodles over here because we're going to rinse those. I'm going to put 2 spoons of flour in there. This is going to help to thicken it up. We're going to take, this is our beef paste. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to this, stir it up, so that way it doesn't get lumps in it. So I'm going to just put a little bit of water in this. I'm going to stir it up, and then we're going to add some more water to it, and then we'll add some of our paste. See how that's nice and creamy? Okay, now we can add a little bit more moisture to it. See, look at that. So that's our flour and water, kind of like a roux. And we're going to get some of our beef flavoring to go in there. Okay. Got our garlic in here and our meat. It's almost cooked. And what we're going to start doing is we want to take out all of that fat. And so this is a 85% ground beef fat portion. All right, there we go. See how much fat we took out of it. Okay, so now we've got our onions a little bit extra cooked. We're gonna add some butter. We're gonna get boom. We're gonna add our cauliflower into this. We'll add a little bit of olive oil with this and blend this all together. And the thing here is you don't want to overcook this. You want this to get warmed up and soften just a little bit. You can see it a little bit better. All right, so here, that's all nice and cooked. We have our flour and water here. Pour that up in there. Okay, I'm going to put salt and pepper in here. We're going to end up adding a little bit more water to this because that's going to thicken up. And I need to get my noodles ready. Let me get a little bit more water in there. Because this is going to thicken up. There we go. And we're going to end up adding our sour cream and some heavy cream with it. And you can see how nice that's thickening up. So you have almost like a gravy up in there. Then we got to just season it. Boom. Miracle noodles. We need a little bit of Grey Poupon in with it. We're going to salt and pepper it, and we're going to put sour cream. Put about a quarter cup in there. I'm going to put some heavy cream. Now, I'm going to put rosemary and thyme. Time after time. Garlic, rosemary, and thyme are my favorite spices. We're going to put some garlic salt in it. You know I use garlic salt on just about everything. And we're going to put in, of course, black pepper. Looking good. Coming around. With this, we just need a little bit of heavy cream, and that way it'll get saucy, thick, and I'll give it kind of a sweet taste to it. And then we'll test for our spices and see if you want a little bit more salt and pepper, a little more rosemary, a little more thyme. You're gonna let this simmer for just a couple of minutes, and then we're done. So far, it's been 21 minutes. Let's check our spices. Oh, that's good. A little bit more pepper in it, and a little bit more thyme. Now, I like to put hot sauce on it, and again, because I'm cooking for others that can't stand heat, I don't put in too much spices, and I'm kind of trying to cut down on the salt. Because we don't want my father-in-law, his salt count is not good. So we're trying to, and for all of us. And our cauliflower rice is nice and warm. Turn you up just a little bit, and I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff here, so that way I'll be done. Now, a couple things I did earlier today that you guys did not see is I made some steamed vegetables, some broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots, and we packaged that up so that way our people like this way they got some nice fresh steamed vegetables, a little bit of Lowry seasoned salt on them, and a little bit of butter and olive oil. Great tasting. We also did, this is actually my wife's codfish that we ended up doing. It is with a butter crust that went on top of it. So there's that. So once this starts to boil a little bit, just start to, we'll be good to go. A little of the rice, so show it to you right there, nice and tender. It's got good flavor to it. Now you can add a little salt to it. You could put some rice vinegar in with it, but this has so much more flavor than what regular rice would just have plain. Okay. And you see, this has gotten nice and saucy. Saucy. All right. Are you ready for the reveal? Are you ready to try some? Okay. I'll make a plate for my son here first. Actually, I'll make one for me too. We'll get some tongs. So that way we'll get some of the noodles in here. And where did I do with the ladle? Okay, there you go. Now, bowl for my son. And like I was saying, I like a little hot sauce. Because I like it spicy. And we're going to do the taste test. Whew. I got to tell you, I'm pooped today. But look at this. So you got to get down in there, get some of that cauliflower. That's good. This would be really good if it had some corn in it. Yep. There you have it. Some miracle noodles. Now again, you don't have to do it with the miracle noodles. If you want to go ahead and say, I'm going to do it with some rice noodles, you're going to get some carbs. Or you can even do it without noodles. But that is like gravy on top of the cauliflower. It's hot. And not bad. 27.5 minutes. And I'm eating. So, hope you enjoyed this. And I will see you guys soon. Peace.